I know the sun's in the the sun is. I thought I moved to North Carolina to get away from winter. I don't know. Well, so far we haven't had any snow here, but yeah, it was a. If you want to get up in the morning and go to Walmart and do some shopping, it is very. How do we say? Oh, damn! I can't even. Hold on. Oh, that's like it's like living in Northern Virginia. You get up in the morning and you gotta spend 20 minutes scraping the ice off your windshield. That's of course unless you're a rich person and you have a garage. All those rich people with garages, jeez Louise. Anyway, good morning everybody. It is the 27th of December. You know, one of the topics I do cover on this channel, I had to scrape the ice off the mirror over there. The frost. Excuse me. Now I'm ready. Good morning, everybody. Shall we start again? Yeah, I gotta go to Walmart and get some stuff. I like to go Sunday morning. It's a good time to go. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. So, I wanted to do a little rant for you today. You know, one of the things I've been talking about on this channel is prepping. Yeah, and there's different versions of prepping. You know, some prepping is just, you know, preparing. To be prepared for eventual emergencies or whatever, and just, you know, and other prepping, heavy-duty prepping. Let's make sure I got my cameras on there. This camera's pretty quiet. The other kind of prepping, of course, is move into the mountains and get a shack and get off grid and that kind of thing. You know. So yeah, we have to. I don't know how you define the terms prep. You know, mild prepping or serious prepping. Okay, ordinary prepping or. Man, I got the duct tape here, but the duct tape's frozen. It's like, what is it, 26 degrees. It was supposedly 19 when I first got up. So, but anyway, car's warming up nice. Little Adam doing good. So anyway, yeah, serious prepping versus just ordinary prepping. And I think I'm talking mainly about ordinary prepping. I don't think too many people are really into, you know, moving up into the mountains in a cabin and, you know, completely getting off grid. You know, there are a few. We do see some people here on YouTube in the Nomad community that are doing that, or at least saying they're doing that. But you know, the other thing about prepping is just, you know, have enough, you know, have your Jackery, you know, Jackery, don't go with any other brand, only go with Jackery. No, I'm kidding. I'm very much kidding. Have a power station or 3 or 4 around the house there, charge them up, keep them charged up. You know, they're good, you know, to keep the lights on, to keep the fans running, to keep the computer going, whatever. You know, have, you know, several different versions of ways to connect to the internet. You know, you might have home Wi-Fi with your cable company. You got your cell phone service. You may want to have 2 different cell phone companies. You know, don't do everything with Verizon or everything with AT&T. You know, and, you know, think smart about that. You know, you might keep the car gassed up. You may, if you have a garage or something, have a couple of tanks of extra gas just in case, you know, just in case. You know, definitely have some food that doesn't require, you know, cooking and, you know, freezing and stuff, you know, canned foods, you know, stuff that's, what do they call it, shelf stable. You know, have a supply of that for at least a couple weeks somewhere in your larder. You know, that's not a bad idea, etc., etc. Have cash on hand because, you know, the cards may not work if the power goes out, you know, for a while, you know, the gas pumps won't work, stuff like that. So, you know, that's, you know, I'm not going to get into all the prepping, what you should or shouldn't do, but there are plenty of prepping channels you can watch. The reason I'm mentioning that today, why that's coming to my to my little fertile brain today is I was watching Life with Aaron. Aaron is a really cool guy. He lives in Tennessee. He was the guy that did my Camo Awards last year. He's a really nice, he's a funny guy. We call him the king of the bottom of YouTube. He likes to watch a lot of these YouTube channels with trolls and stuff on them and all that other stuff. But he also likes to kind of cover some current events, and he's in Tennessee. He lives not that far from Nashville, and he's been really all over this Nashville RV bombing thing that's been going on. In fact, I think, while he's not really a reporter per se, I would say he's kind of a, what do you call it, a compiler. He watches a lot of media, and he then, and I do the same thing. I'm not really a reporter. I don't go out and cover the story myself, but you compile a whole bunch of different media sources and you kind of weigh everything, and then you, make a judgment and look at, because there's a lot of stuff, if you can look at the mainstream media, CNN, Fox News. Yes, Fox News is mainstream media. Don't argue with me there. The Washington Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Google News and all their links. And then you can go deeper. You can dive a little deeper into what people are saying on, bulletin boards or in social media, Facebook, Twitter. And then you got to decide, is this just bunk or is this got some, links to reality? Anyway, Aaron's doing a good job of compiling stuff. And he's got some interesting videos out. He's been doing quite a few videos since the Christmas Day bombing there in Nashville. Now, the reason that we kind of cover this a little bit here in our little nomad community is because of the vehicle that was used was an RV, okay? And yeah, it's going to be harder now for RVers to park their vehicles because they're going to be under suspicion. If an RV is used as the weapon like this one was, the people are going to be real suspicious of RVs. I mean, if you go park in a neighborhood now, if you're boondocking or just parking your vehicle, you're probably going to get a couple of neighbors looking around, snooping around to see if, you're somebody connected to this guy in Tennessee. I don't know. So yeah, that's a definite thing for the people in our little group here. But, it's kind of irrelevant. Well, it could be a car, it could be a van. A van would be, less noticeable, just a plain old white van parked somewhere, that's not going to draw anywhere near as much attention as an RV would. Anyway, what I'm getting to with Aaron, and again, I just wanted to shout him out because I think he's doing a good job putting a lot of these media pieces together about what's going on. But I think what he's coming up with, one of the conclusions he's generally coming up with, is how easy it is to really disrupt, the cyber world in a particular location. What I mean by that is, this whole bombing thing was done right in front of the AT&T building there in Nashville, where I guess it's a transmission building, okay? It's where a lot of the guts of the internet for a good part of central Tennessee, parts of Kentucky, parts of Alabama, that's where this all happens, okay? So it's a lot of people, the whole city of Nashville. And this bombing did knock out a lot of cell phone service, a lot of internet service to a lot of people. And I think Aaron is pointing out how easy that happens. How easy it is to do that, Just one guy, theoretically, we don't know if it's just one guy, okay? We don't know that. This guy may be connected to other people and who knows what. But theoretically, one person in a vehicle parked somewhere and a bomb goes off and a whole bunch of people lose their internet, Internet's important. Your security systems are on internet, your communication systems, people work on internet, kids today go to school on the internet, they lose their internet, everything's putting all your eggs in the internet basket, And all your people are like their entire lives are the internet now. They can't turn on lights in their home without going on an app and turning it, you can't do that. I mean, the other day, my internet went out and I was trying to get my singlet bulbs on, and I got to go on an app on the phone to do that. And the little, dongle there that connects me to the light bulbs, wasn't connected and I couldn't turn my lights on, at least those lights. I have other regular old bulbs, but But anyway, yeah, what Aaron's talking about is how and what was it the other day when Google went out? Google went out for an hour for like 7 to 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, and everybody was panicking. They couldn't check their emails. They couldn't do anything, The YouTube was down. YouTube's down. What am I gonna do? I can't monetize myself. Hey, I'm gonna run in here and I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh yeah, and your banking information, all your banking crap is all done online now, they don't even want you to go to the bank. Look at this neat mask. This is my sister made this. It's got Star Wars stuff on it. Isn't that cool? So anyway, yeah, I don't know. So, we're so dependent on the internet for everything. And now one person in a beat up RV, well, actually wasn't that bad of an RV. Why is this, look, I'm ready to go. This guy in a pickup truck is like parked in front of me in the parking lot. I love gluten. Hey, that's a good, I love gluten on that car. I got to get one of those bumper stickers. Anyway, so yeah, the thing is, so how easy, Aaron is pointing out how easy it is. I'll put a link to his video below, by the way. How easy it is for one person, one kind of crazy person, and it couldn't be any vehicle. I mean, you could have it you could do it in an SUV, you could do it in a car, you could do it in an RV. I just, why it was an RV, I don't know. So anyway, how easy it is to take out the internet for a whole lot of people, and even more, yeah, the phone, your phone is, your phone goes, everything goes. So is it time to prep and get ready to get the heck out of Dodge? I don't know, man. I don't think so, but I do think that, you need to start thinking, I think, about alternatives. I think the thing about all your eggs in one basket is probably not a good thing. If all your eggs are in one basket, if all your internet is through the same company, if all your phones are connected to the same company, if, it's that kind of thing, don't depend on any one thing, and it is true. If you can have a backup internet. I mean, a lot of people do that. They have Wi-Fi at home. They also have cell phones. Maybe have cell phones with a couple different networks on them. There's alternatives. Where I am, we have our own Wi-Fi, but we also have Wi-Fi for the city hall that we can get. We have, if you have a neighbor who has a different provider, maybe you can ask them to occasionally borrow their service, maybe pay them, I don't know, invite them over for a couple of drinks for the privilege. You have cell phones, obviously, that uses a different network than your Wi-Fi does, if you're not using a hotspot. So in a way, in some respects, some of the nomads are probably a couple of steps ahead of the game there. But again, they're already doing some of the prepping. When you live in a vehicle, when you're living, in your RV or you're living in your van, you're already thinking about these things, really heavily. It's hard. It's hard to get internet sometimes when you're on the road. It's hard to cook and store food and refrigerate stuff. We people that live in apartments and houses and condos and stuff like that, we take it for granted. You turn the tap and the water's on. Yeah, that's another thing. Have bottled water around. You don't know. We're getting into some weird times here. I don't know. 2020 is a very strange year in many ways, not just only with the V. Politics in this country is getting strange. I don't know. Is our democracy or our Republican democracy, or whatever you want to call it, our alleged freedoms, are we coming to a point now where we might see that? And we always see the United States as being kind of the shining spot on the hill or something like that. And then we look at what's going on in the rest of the world, and we look at the European history. Just go look at some European history and all the crazy crap that has gone on there in just the last 50 to 100 years, And we think we're kind of immune from that, and we really aren't. So I don't want to get into politics here. But I do want to say that, I do think that it's important for us to at least do some prepping. You don't need to prep, but you do need to prep. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Anyway, I don't know, man. Aaron's doing a good job there covering that, but, I think we gotta, and again, the other thing that's gonna happen now is the surveillance-y stuff, with this stuff going on now, there could be groups behind this guy that did the bombing thing, and, there could be more things going on, and, there are AT&T buildings in other cities, there's other big internet providers with their data centers in a lot of different places, and, usually those data centers are pretty closely guarded. In Manassas, Virginia, there's a lot of data centers. You drive around where my sister lives, and there's huge areas where they look like office parks, but there's, no parking lots and no cars, and these big, low buildings all over the place with security. You see security all around the buildings. They have barbed wire sometimes. They have big fences. It's very high security. These, data centers, AT&T there maybe should have been faulted for having a data center so close to the road, so accessible to where somebody could do some nefarious stuff to it, Maybe these internet companies need to think more about their security and being able to, not have some crazy person with a vehicle parked there and boom, disable them, as Aaron said, there's a whole bunch of people in Tennessee, in parts of Kentucky, parts of Alabama that still don't have their phone and internet services up and running yet, So, I don't know. It's a good point, good thing to look at. Should we prep? I do not want people to get panicky prep. No, I don't think you need to run to the grocery store and stock up on, just hoard things. I don't think we need to do that, but I think it's not a bad idea to have alternatives for all your services, different ways to access all your services, have some cash on hand, have some bottled water on hand, have some power stations around, have your data backed up. I think that's all a good thing. Have stuff available on your hard drive so you don't need to access the internet for everything. Yeah, I don't think the internet's going away. It's not going to go away, but, there may be extended periods of time where you don't have access to it. And to be prepared for that in this new and crazy world. When I was a kid, in the 1960s, we always thought of the future as being a positive thing. I always thought of that. It's only going to get better. We're going to have flying cars, and we're going to have, moon bases, and you can get an airplane you can get on a rocket and fly to the moon for $800. And we all thought everything was going to get better and better and better and better and better. And to be honest with you, I think we don't have that optimistic view of the world today. I just don't, either our country or the world. I think in many respects, it's scarier today than it was, say, 50 years ago, especially for kids. I'm not going to be here that much longer. Hey, I'm 62 years old. Hey, another 20 good years if I'm lucky. But some of you younger folks here, you're going to have a lot longer to have to deal with some of this stuff. And I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be, the future is not bright. Future's so bright I gotta wear shades. The future's very gray and cloudy and murky, and that's the new reality. And you know what? You look at human history, and that's the way it's been for most of human history. There was a special time there in the 50s and 60s and maybe into the 70s that we actually had some optimism about the future. There have been huge periods of life in the civilized world over the last number of centuries where people do not have an optimistic view of the future, and I think maybe we're going back to that, which is kind of sad. I feel fortunate that I, was born when I was, to be honest with you. So anyway, I don't know, folks. What do you think? Sensible prepping, yes. Going out and hoarding things and moving to a shack in the mountains, I don't think you really need to do that. But that's what I think right now. So we'll let anyway. But anyway, what do I? You know what they say? Hey, everybody. I don't know, man. I don't know. But then again, as Mark Fun Jones made a little T-shirt. I don't know if they're still available. I'd like to get one of those. Mark, if you got one of those t-shirts, send it to me. I'll pop you over some PayPal. But he has a picture of me going, you know, I do know. I do know. All right, I got to take Crutchy's hula hoop here. Crutchy's hula hoop. Anyway, yeah, all right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Stay strong. New year. Going to be some changes, hopefully for the better. And, you know, maybe it is time to get out on the road and stay there. I don't know, man. Vlog under.